Welcome back to another episode of Toon Talk TV, the top animated podcast on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, be sure and like, follow, and subscribe. Check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/wearethetelevision. Buy some mugs. We need those mug monies. Check out all the behind the scenes stuff. Today's tune was selected by none other than Bob. Bob, why don't you take it away here?
So this tune was titled "Look Who Finally Decided to Leave Their Room" by Donk TK. It was their at is Donk on YouTube. It's at Donk-TK, and on Twitter it's at Donk__TK. And then there was a Dong FF.TK Productions.
I don't think Donk wants anyone to find him.
No name included, like barely any information. It's a ghost. I pretty sure it's a he. On Newgrounds I saw male, so he is a ghost. But this one was hilarious. It was short, very did this strike a chord for you guys? I felt like this is a classic moment for anyone who's gaming during a family party and just has to like it's almost like a walk of shame, but it's like
it feels very relatable for if there was any person who was in like their late 20s and still living at their parents' house while playing video games. It's like
for sure.
It's like you come out of your room and like there's this guilt of like, look at you. What are you doing?
Look who finally decided to show up at the party. Dude. All the voicing and stuff. This was I know we've said it before. Am I stereotyping by saying this was very Smiling Friends?
Yeah, you are. No? I don't even want to say that anymore because it really wasn't. Outside of the voices, that's it. Like
I beg to differ because I say a lot of the randomness and a lot of the quick quips. I think that's very Michael Cusack. Don't you? The quick randomness of some of these shows.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
I just think that's funny comedy, like in 2024. Like it feels very now, like
but I also think that I kind of have a feeling that Michael Cusack kind of started up an animation boom in Australia.
Sure.
And I mean, I'm saying this by guessing, but I have a feeling that he kind of started something. But if you look at all the animations on their channel, on Donk TK's channel, they're very they're quick, they're random, they're hilarious. It's funny stuff. So just go check it out. But my question for you guys, how does your family respond to what you do? And when I say what you do, I mean like Mick, as a writer, do you have any family that just doesn't quite understand it? We'll say like at family parties, oh, are you still up to that little writing thing you do?
Well, I'll answer two ways. One, loved the cartoon. Mick is more on the other side of the table, the one carving the turkey, being like, "Oh, you decided to stop playing video games, did you?" So I'm on that side. I'm on that side. But yes, I feel like everyone has that. It's just that one family member that doesn't get it, where they're like, "Oh, why don't you come be a truck driver, or why don't you go bag some groceries?" Like nothing wrong with those professions. Mick's pop was a truck driver, but like there's always just a sense of why aren't you doing like a manual labor type of job?
Yeah.
Right.
Why aren't you doing real man's work?
Exactly. Look at these little mouse hands, dude. They can't do fucking manual labor. Are you kidding me?
Let's put Mick out in the field so he could do this.
Dude, what about you, Fred? How did you feel watching this cartoon?
Oh, it just felt very relatable, even though I wasn't in that scenario. But I think that's like at the root of what a good joke is, Like if you understand where they're coming from, you know exactly why it's funny. a few things specifically about this cartoon that stood out to me. It only had one like scene background and felt like a complete thing, which you can really like milk. You could really do so much out of one background with just like zoom ins and like and pacing and like how many times the scene can change from seeing like the full room versus like a close up. And then also, did you guys notice that lighting changed throughout it? As it started, it was a light room, and then at the end of it, they were like, it was dark and the shades around them were like red and stuff. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a very elegant and simple way to make something. You know, if you don't have a lot of budget or make a lot of like stuff, you can create one little one shot and do a lot with it.
I wanted to ask you both a question to that. This was just a strictly first person view. Like, you don't see the actual character. The viewer is the character in this situation. Talk a little bit about that. Like, what did you guys think of that perspective on telling the short?
I think that helps even more in kind of getting your emotion across, because you are now the protagonist of that film. They're talking to you. I don't think they don't say anything in it. So it does feel like it's you just getting berated by all these people, which is that's a great use of perspective.
Yeah.
That's what Mick feels like all the time, dude. That's Mick's life.
Well, yeah. Are you not seeing your life in the first person?
No. He lives in third person. The third person view.
He does say Mick a lot, for that being his own name.
Actually, you do.
I thought this was great. Fred, you kind of hit the nail in the coffin with, you know, how much you can do with just one scene. And I thought this was a great tune to showcase that.
I think it's nail on the head, not nail in the coffin.
Nail on the well, you're like nail in the coffin shut to bury yourself alive, right? Your enemies.
No, nail in the coffin is like the final. Nail on the head is like
you hit the nail on the head.
Get your point across.
Yeah.
Well,
Mickisms.
Mickisms just got one foot in the grave, I guess, is what he's got. Final thoughts, guys.
So one other fun fact about this, it was done entirely in Blender using 3D rigs and grease pencil.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I guess they learned a lot from it, and it was a very messy production. I saw that little snippet on their Twitter, but I don't know. I thought they did great with the one perspective and the grease pencil and 3D rigs. I had a sense that was one of their first times doing that in Blender, just by the way them saying that it was a messy production, but who knows? Donk TK, comment, tell us your thoughts.
Or come on, have a chat.
Tell us who you are.
Yeah, tell us who you are.
Reveal yourself.
Reveal
to the
real
world.
Donk.
We will link everything in the description below. Again, if you're new to the channel, like, follow, subscribe. Patreon page, patreon.com/wearethetelevision. Thanks for watching the show. Catch you guys next time.
Step outside to the smell of gas, crack glass from the bottles thrown. The food truck drips with the greasy smell of the television.